shall send you a copy. And I'm going to ask for a transcript. Looks like the transcript's already happening. I think I could close that. All right, so let's take a moment to settle in. We can close our eyes. If you like, you could put your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your right. And I'm going to record on my voice recorder as well now. Okay, so today's the 15th, Wednesday, 15th of April. We're here with the Ask the Guides evening. And we're going to just feel Mother Earth beneath us, either through our feet, through our seat, connecting to her with our love and our gratitude for everything she does for us, for every element, for all the gifts of nurturance. We would not be here without her. And we are very grateful for her presence beneath us and all around us. And then we connect to Father Sky, to that divine spark that animates this body, to that connection with Source, our connection with our higher selves, and the connection between heaven and earth and our hearts, feeling that love of Source, of God's love, feeling it fill our hearts, our bodies, our minds, our souls. Remembering that we are always part of this oneness and that there is nothing else but God's love. So we will begin with a short message because it seems like this is quite a time of trial for many. We had this image of the blockade on the Straits of Hormuz, where the ships are going back and forth with their oil, and the attempt to restrict any flow, any motion, any access. And the straits are like a space of very narrow context, almost like the eye of the needle, you might say. And this is very much a time where it seems like everyone or many are traversing through a very narrow doorway or gateway or window or threshold to something new. However, the patterns have not changed too dramatically yet, so that we're still in some ways caught in that birthing passage. And the most prevalent feeling for many is of being in some kind of straitjacket, of being in a tight space, of not knowing where we're going, not being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps, and feeling a tremendous amount of limitation and constriction in many areas of our lives. So we want to reassure you that just as with the new birthing, the descent through the birthing canal, through the Straits of Hormuz, that space where the butterfly has to push its way out, its incipient butterfly. It's not quite ready to fly yet, but it's piercing through that little hole that it has to break open in order to emerge so that it can spread its wings and fly. We wish you to have as much patience and trust as possible and hold true to the vision of the new earth, to the vision of why you are here, to the vision of what's coming. For surely the truth will out the intentions of your heart will manifest, and there will be that light at the end of the tunnel. There will be an opening, expanding into greater and greater levels of light and consciousness. And you will be able to look back and recognize that you needed to go through this process in order to be birthed into a new frequency, into a new species, and into a whole new vibration that is free from the old fetters of the rigid, hierarchical, male-dominated structures that have been in place for so many thousands of years. You are also traversing in the cosmos a path that connects you more closely now with the center of the galaxy. And you are accessing the photon belt. You are accessing the radiations that are emanating from the center of the galaxy, that are changing your DNA, that are upgrading you, that are upgrading Mother Earth, and that are providing templates, new templates for your DNA and for the new Earth that is to come. For you are all here to help to bring this into fruition. You are here to play a specific role that only you can play. You have an individual set of parameters. You have an individual blueprint. Your destiny pattern is different from everybody else's. You have a very unique blueprint that is also your design for how you will unfold and move towards the manifestation of this destiny. And so it's extremely important, as we have always said, to do your practice, to examine everything, to look at and examine your thoughts, your words, your actions, your thoughts, your emotions, and ask whether this is for your highest good, or whether perhaps these are old patterns that you are running automatically because of the conditioning that you received from childhood, from your peers, your parents, your schooling, your upbringing, your culture, and your civilization. You are trapped in many ways in an evolutionary process of technology that is almost like a baby. This technology is also being born. It is being born in a new way because the kind of technologies that you are using at this time are not designed to be benevolent to living organisms, to life, or to the blossoming of Mother Earth. They're technologies of the left brain, technologies of very narrow-minded ways of seeing everything, but they are nevertheless indicators, or you might say mimics, of the higher levels of technology that you have within your own system, in your body, in your mind, in your blueprint, in your aura and your field, your magnetic body. You already carry all the wisdom, all the understanding, all the truths, and all the faculties that you need to navigate these times. And within that navigation system, you have three important spaces. Primarily, you have the space of the heart, your compass, your guide, that that organ of truth that always knows what's right for you. Excuse us. That organ, that heart, that central focal point is your guide. As much as you can listen to it and focus on it, it will allow you to remember that you are not your body, you are not your mind, you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions. You are the living spirit that is in all life. You are immortal, eternal, infinite, and universal. Remember this when you need to take that deep breath and remind yourself that you are an eternal being inhabiting a body with a mind and emotions and thoughts and actions that are limited to time and space, whereas the true nature of who you are, your connection to source, and your ability to tune in to the wholeness, to the completeness of all life, is not in any way compromised by your mental, emotional, or physical state. This is part of who you are. It's in your DNA, and it's in that space of the heart that has the blueprint for your own DNA's evolution into the 12 strands and into higher and higher frequencies. And eventually, it will lead you into unity consciousness, because the consciousness that's appropriate for the new earth is a consciousness of oneness, of consideration, of love, of cooperation, of sharing, of caring, of kindness, and of taking care of everyone, honoring everyone, and seeing everyone as a true reflection of that which we call God's love, which is the essence that you are all made of and are. It's a very interesting mental exercise to really grok this in a way that is able to also be understood by your body and by your whole inner being, that you are not who you think you are. You are not your personality. You are not the ego, but you are in many ways that higher self, the observer that has access to universal truth, universal law, and universal cosmology, you might say. You are connected to your star family. You are connected very deeply to all the earth elements, to the beings of the Davic kingdom, to the rocks, the crystals, the creatures, the trees, the water. It is all a oneness, a magnificent and beautiful interweaving of frequencies that create that magnificent music of the spheres. And so we are asking you to be patient. Take each day as it comes, each breath. Whenever you feel stressed, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am not my body. I'm not my mind. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my feelings. I'm not my worries, my cares, my stress. I am the living spirit that is in all life. I am a unique expression of God's love. I am here for a purpose, and I have the deepest intention to fulfill that purpose so that I can live in ease and grace, with love and magic, and live in a way that enhances all life. And so we bless you. You can always call upon us in the innermost reaches of your heart. When you meditate, You can ask for your guidance to be there present with you. And it's always important that after you ask your questions or after you meditate with something on your heart or your mind, that you stop to listen for the answers. They will not always be obvious, but they will appear in some magical way. So we will stop recording this particular segment and we will begin